feel good, y'all. I don't know if I got too hot or if I got too much sugar drinking in 2 Gatorades. I feel a little nauseous also. Luckily for me, I'm not the cure for that either. Jump down in there. These people on this road one time had their air conditioning. Not air conditioning. See, I didn't film it, but they've got graffiti on their dumpsters. You can't even put the dumpsters by the road without them getting sprayed with graffiti. And one time they had it all the way in the road. Oh, that feels good. I think I'm gonna get that window all the way down. There we go. Y'all see these ponds? I always go across this pond dam. They built their road on the pond dam. Look at that. Well, I need to get brake pads. Oh, I should have been filming that. Look at that bird flying across the water like that. Well, I can't stay on the phone. Be hands free. Sweat my hands. It's hot, y'all. That's why I drank some coffee. It's pretty hot coffee. Well, I made it. Survived another week. Welcome to live chat. Remember to guard your privacy and abide by our community guidelines. That's on YouTube. I ain't got no community guidelines. I don't care what y'all say. I ain't reporting nobody if you don't. Even if you do, I ain't. It had to be some really sick, twisted, bad shit for me to care. Whew. Hot, y'all. Just try spinning the heat in the parking lot all day. It's like an oven in here. But that's the nature of working in South Georgia in the summer. That's just how it's going to be. My air conditioner is broke in the truck, but sometimes it works and sometimes it don't. I don't really know what the issue is. I think it might be something to do with the computer. I might have some fuses blown. I'll be glad when that light turns green and this wind starts moving back across. But we're done for the day. I need to put a lot more water on these trees because the rain hasn't really brought enough water. I wish I'd have filmed that bird sooner on this live stream when he was closer. When I load it up later, you can go back and you'll see it fly out over the surface of the water for a short time before it lands. I need brake pads, y'all. And by the time I get off work, the mechanics are off work. And then they closed on the weekends. So I don't know how I'm going to ever get anything fixed with this truck. I guess I'll start doing it myself. I scraped my knee on something. Come on now. How are you in the left? You can't do that. These people just went in the left lane over a double yellow line and drove in front of that semi-truck because that semi-truck was stopped at the white line before the railroad tracks. There's a little bit of space in front of them. They drive illegally in the left lane, go around and pull in front of them. What the fuck? Well, anyway, we survived. Now we can go. Now we can go. Oh, this guy. Excuse me, but I've been working in that insulation. I gotta get that insulation out of my nose. I guess I could have flipped the camera around before doing that, I reckon. But I lose viewers when I do that a lot of times. A lot of times if I film the road A lot of the viewers stopped watching. There's bamboo. They ready to go. Look at that. They ready to go. I'm ready to go too. Let's get out of Vidalia. We can get these onions anywhere. I don't live in Vidalia. The shop I work at is in Vidalia. But I live in Alamo, Georgia. So I drive about 40, 50 minutes to work every morning and back home. Normally I work till 5, 6, 7. But Fridays, sometimes we got enough hours in, we go ahead and leave around 2. This is like the earliest I ever get off. I never get off this early. It's just, we were just done. We worked in, God bless you, great job. Thank you, thank you. Did we work on your house? Gutters, garage doors, screen room, roll-up doors, insulation. We suck at insulation out of attics, blow insulation in, fiberglass insulation. Very welcome. Yeah. Yeah. You're welcome. We went in that house today, the one we sprayed the attic for. They had 3 or 4 different smoke detectors with no batteries in any of them. Just having to listen to them beep all day long. Beep, 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 beep. I wish they'd just wire that into the I know you might need a battery in case the power trips. But I wish they'd just wire them smoke detectors with straight to the breaker box. So they the battery ever beeping. Because a lot of these people don't know how to change a smoke detector battery. I don't know why they didn't just put a battery in it when they installed it. Like, I wouldn't want to work on the job site all day long listening to that. But I'm not the electrician on that job. I'm putting up a garage door. It's so cloudy out here, but the sun's so bright bouncing off of these clouds. People behind me getting. Hey Wade, what you doing today? I'm off early. Brittany's working till 6, so I got some free time. I do need to. It's hot to do it right now. I might just wait till. I'm gonna wait till it cools down. I'm gonna water the fruit trees today some. When that Hurricane Helene happened, I sold my stocks to have some money because I was out of work for a while. We didn't have water for like 3 weeks or power. We didn't have water longer than that because as soon as we got water, the well burned up because it was waterlogged when it come on, and Brittany washed 3 weeks worth of clothes and dishes while I was asleep because I was tired from carrying water, cooking on fires outside, everything else. So I sold my stocks when I didn't really want to sell them, and I was $12 under. And today, I bought more of them, made my money back, plus 22 cents and sold them. Because I really just want to break even, because I want to invest in building my own company. I do think it's good to own stocks because they're not going to inflate as fast as the dollar. But it's easier for me to research what I'm doing with my own company than somebody else's. And I think I really need to just get my land making money. It was very windy. They're burning all this wood on the side of the road, all these fallen trees. And it looked like it was gonna storm bad a couple days ago, and the wind blew the fire into the tree line. They put it out though. And then it looked like it was gonna just pour rain. The wind was crazy and it just went away all of a sudden. I've noticed a lot of the times they tell us it's gonna rain, we don't really get as much rain as they say we're gonna get. Staying cool under the AC. I ain't got no, oh, you got AC? That's where I'd like to be. The air conditioner's broke in the truck. The exhaust for the insulation motor, the auger that for spraying insulation, it's got an exhaust pipe that's supposed to go under the trailer. Well, it's broke off. So all the exhaust just goes right into the trailer where I'm working. So I'm breathing in carbon monoxide, fiberglass. It's hot in a box. But the electrician that was working at the house we was at, he had a squirrel cage fan. Blew that in there. That helped a lot. Start a produce business. I plan on it. One, anything that Mama's got at her restaurant, I could grow it, and I know I can sell to her. And I can sell to the fruit stands. And I was thinking of making jelly, like getting what do they call it? A cottage license where you could sell food you make on your stove, certain things. and selling fruit jellies from my trees so it'll last longer. Because I don't know, I might get a bunch of fruit all at a time and nobody buy it and it go moldy. So I could just turn it into jelly. It'll have a lot more shelf life. Katie said, ooh. Is that when I was blowing my nose? Sorry about it. If you had garage door grease and insulation and everything else, glass and all that, you get it out too. It's just I'm hot. And I got to be able to breathe. My nose is stopped up. I need to cut this mustache. See, a lot of people are like, why do you have this beard? But my beard doesn't ever itch me. It never bothers me. But once it gets to a certain length that I got to reach for the seatbelt and start yanking beard hairs out, or my mustache starts going in my mouth, that's when I got to trim it up or it's got to go. But I'm just not going to spend the time every single morning shaving every single morning when it don't even bother me. It don't bother Brittany either. Cool under the AC. My bees, I've got 2 bee colonies right now. And one of them's doing super, super good. One of them's doing all right, but one of them is built up really fast. It's probably about time to give them another box. I think I'll just let them get as strong as they can get this year, but next year I'll split them. I know that one on the right is going to need to be split next year. That colony's growing fast. And I think because it's growing so fast, that's why the other one isn't. That colony's done built up. They got more foragers. As a bee colony grows, they're able to give a bigger and bigger percentage to foraging. You gotta have a certain amount of bees just to regulate the temperature and take care of the babies. But once they get to a certain population, they get way more efficient. And they wind up just being able to overtake any of them that didn't build up fast enough. But you can always mitigate, you can always combine colonies or divide colonies of bees. You can use like lemon grass seed oil, and you can make them smell the same. You can spray a scent on the bees above and below. Put you a box with a queen excluder above it and below it in the middle. That way the queens can't sting each other. You ain't got to worry about that if you don't have a queen. And then you put newspaper in between and let them eat through the newspaper. By the time they've done that, their smells have mixed together. The 2 colonies think they're the same colony and they become the same colony. So right before winter time, if I got a really weak colony that ain't doing too good, I'll combine them with a stronger colony. And then if I've got a colony that's just way, 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 way big, normally in the summer, I'll split them into 2 colonies. And it's really better to have a really strong colony than 2 weak colonies as far as honey production goes. Maybe that ain't the case if you're raising queens and want to raise the most queens, but if you just really want to get a lot of honey, 1 big colony's going to make more honey than 2 smaller, medium-sized colonies. I got 100 pounds, anywhere from 80 to 100 pounds of honey off 1 colony pretty reliably in South Georgia. If you've got 10, if you're in Wheeler County, Georgia, and you've got 10 good frames of brood, like larvae and everything like that, and then you put a queen excluder in a deep above it, they'll fill that up with honey. And then you got another nectar flow in the fall when the goldenrod weed. That fall honey around here is never as good as the summer honey. The honey made from all the berries and fruit trees is always maple trees. That honey's always better than the fall honey that's made with a lot of wildflowers and weeds and stuff like that. But they can still eat it. It's nutritious. You still get them through the winter. So I like to eat and sell the summer honey and feed the bees on the winter honey. Of course, I let them keep some of all of it because I think it's good for a bee's health to have diverse types of honey and pollen and not just one thing. I think that's why a lot of commercial beekeepers have such high losses, like up to half, 60% every year. One, their bees are exposed to a lot more pesticides. And two, a lot of their bees are only eating one thing. They're in a blueberry field or a watermelon field or a cotton field. And so there's one day, if I got a lot of extra bee colonies, I might start making money pollinating, but I just don't like to really sit my bees out where I don't know what poisons I'm setting them in. Because like I say, it builds up in the beeswax over time until it poisons the larva. I don't want them having GMO pollen. They don't get enough protein. A lot of times their wings don't want to develop right. There's also different viruses that will cause their wings to not develop right. Tea tree oil will run them away, but if you got a tiny, tiny bit of tea tree oil, like I mean a tiniest little bit, and you put it in sugar water and feed it to bees, it'll get rid of the mites. But it's a bee repellent. You put enough, they're going to abscond. They're going to fly away, so you got to be careful with it. But I think it works better than the commercial chemicals they sell. And I think they cause more health problems. It's just a little bit too much fumes for the bees than fume boards. Oh, there's police up there. I got somebody pulled over on the left side. They got some construction. Probably somebody driving too fast in the construction zone. I hate them blue lights. I mean, I just got, you know how people have been talking about they got fatigue? I kind of got some police officer fatigue. Just because I didn't even do anything. And he just gets scared because I got a hunting rifle. He cross-cuffs me, doesn't guide my head. I sit in the back of the cop car for probably 2 hours. Smacked the back of my head. My wrist behind me like this, way hurting my shoulder the whole time. Because he's like, there's two of y'all, there's only one of me. He's like, you got any weapons? I'm like, yeah, I got a gun, I got a deer rifle. And he freaked out. And then they just be asking, I don't know. I'm tired of them. I've never been like an anarchist. It's not like I'm against law and order. I know there's good police officers, but there's a lot of shitty ones. That a lot of people don't have the money to really fight them, and they get away with a lot of stuff. Plus, the city's going to get sued, not them. They're not personally held accountable. They do a lot of shady stuff. A lot of them around here are very corrupt. And then there's a few good ones. There's a few really good ones, too. Like, I don't really have a problem with Giles. I don't really have a problem with Carlos Mancini. I don't really have a problem with that. I don't know. I think he's Mr. David's nephew. But there's about 3-4 different cops. The rest of them, man, they should go do something else. Dang, I'm trying to think. Jamie's all right, too. Jamie's a pretty good guy. And I'd call out the names of the sorry ones if I could think of them. I don't really know them. But it's kind of 50-50 in Wheeler County. About half your cops are good and half your cops are criminal psychopaths, sadists. And I mean that literally. Like, they're literally low empathy, high sadism traits. And then you got some good as gold, really. Like I personally think that Jamie's a good man. Make candles with your beeswax. I'll do that, and I've done that. I've never sold any though, because like when the power's gone out, I've used them all. But beeswax candles smell good. They've got like a light honey smell to them, and I think they're better for you than the paraffin wax. I think that paraffin wax fume, and I don't know really, but the paraffin wax probably ain't as good. Probably pollutes the house more than the beeswax. The beeswax candles burn longer. They don't burn up as fast. They're a superior candle for sure. They're just kind of more expensive because you know your bees got to use 3 times the weight of the wax and sugar to make that wax. There's only a few days of their life that they really produce wax efficiently. There's a dead tree in the middle of the river. It's been there a while. It wasn't always there, but that tree floated down the river and got stuck about halfway. We're in Wheeler County. You notice, Wade, the other Welcome to Wheeler County sign on the McCray side's gone? What happened there? I don't know if they're repairing it or somebody stole it. Gabe said back then in that video too before this one, if anybody could guess where we was at, he'd pay him $100. Didn't get not a single guess. We started off around Backslid, Uvalde. I forget what town we. Now I didn't say where we was at. It's just too late to get. I don't remember the name of the town. He said it. I'm just. Are they calling you Mr. Purvis now? Yeah, I'm glad you took him to court. It's really, I think a lot of them really don't know. Like they really don't know the law that well. And they really don't have to. It really don't take that long to become a cop as compared to becoming a lawyer. It's just a lot of times the only choices are you got to vote the lesser of it, 2 evils of 2 different Masons. You got this Mason cop that's paying his dues to go fund the New World Order, and this Mason cop is funding the New World Order, and you got to vote for one or the other. Either way, the Warburgs, the Schiffs, the Rothschilds, they're going to get their money, and they're going to keep building they ain't trying to enslave us for real. And it's working. And they pretty much took out the self-preservation instinct out of white people completely. They don't even realize the slow genocide that's being put upon them. And they come out and say it too. You can watch videos of them straight up saying, Europeans are Amalek, we need to destroy them. And you can see, you don't even have to, you can just use only Jewish rabbis, only Jewish sources. They'll tell on themselves, they say what they're doing. They say they think they're superior, that they should run the world. They'll come out and straight up say it, but we're not allowed to say it. We can't say it. We can say elitist. We can say globalist. We can say New World Order. We can say Illuminati, but we can't say Ashkenazi Jews. And I think that people need to start saying that. People need to start calling them out. Saying exactly. Fraudulent bankers. A Jewish banking cartel is trying to make us all slaves and believes in their religion that we're cattle. And you just say it. I know that, YouTube is owned by Google. It's made by 2 Jews. they're not going to like me saying that. They might eventually delete this channel over it. But the thing about the Masons is a lot of Masons are not Jews. But the Masons were started by Jews. And Jews run the Masons. And so a lot of them, even if they're not involved directly, they're funneling money up to the very Jews that want to enslave them. And, you know, I was raised to be blindly supportive of Israel. And now they're starving people to death, to force them into one area to shoot at them, baiting them out with food, shooting children, starving children, not letting them get baby formula. And then countries are mad at us for supporting them because they know, the Arabs know that if we didn't give all that money, that $30 billion to Israel, they wouldn't be able to do that. They wouldn't be able to. And they blame us, and a lot of American people don't even know what they're doing. They really think that the Jews are the good guys over there. And really, there's no good guys over there. God help us. Like, as bad as what the Jews are doing, if you let the Palestinians in your country, they'll be protesting for Sharia law, wanting to take your rights away, wanting to genocide you if you don't convert to Islam. You really can't win with either group. The Muslims are the Jews. They both want to enslave us, make us pay a jizya tax, or you know, they both want to. You know, neither one of them have European values. In America, a lot of people are. I'm going to say this is how I really feel. You need a certain race of people to have America, a certain temperament. It's not just, part of it is culture, but part of it really is DNA. Like Asians, their DNA is more collectivist. They like to be in more harmony with one another. They like to do teamwork as a group. And Europeans are more individualistic. They just are. And so you can't take a type of people that are very communal by nature and give them a type of individualistic type government. And it's the same, like culture is a reflection of the people. It's not just from the land. It's not just some idea. It comes from the DNA of the people. Just like how any type of animal, your subspecies, your different variants have different natures. Europeans have a different type of nature than Sub-Saharan Africans. Sub-Saharan Africans have a different type of nature than Asians. And it really is in the DNA. And you see that the founders of America, they were a certain type of people. And they made the country with a certain type of people in mind. And it wasn't Arabs. It wasn't Jews. It wasn't, you know, I know the Jews, basically America was an alliance between Jews and British people to rebel against the Christian kings to set up a secular government. And so you've had this, you know, the British East India Company, the Dutch East India Company, all those trade companies, they weren't British or Dutch, they were Jews. And so the British Empire and the American Empire, the Jews did build it. They did do a lot of work to build it. They were the ones dressing up like Indians, throwing tea off. They were the ones starting the revolution. So I'm not going to just say that America is purely an American, you know, white Protestant creation. It's definitely this hybrid. It was this alliance between Jews and British people. But it was never meant for, they never meant for us to have freedom. They just meant to get free from the Christian kings. They just meant to their bankers to be able to take over. They meant for the federal government to erode away all the powers of the states. You got to remember that they didn't even want a Bill of Rights. They wanted to pass the Constitution without the Bill of Rights, but the states wouldn't do it until you got the Bill of Rights in there. The Bill of Rights is what really comes from the English common law tradition. In the Bill of Rights, you have a lot of what the Americans were about. Now, the whole New World Order, federalizing, they wanted the United States to extend to the world, to be the United States of the world, the New World Order. You know, I'm talking about the Bavarian Illuminati and the Masons. But a lot of white Europeans were just useful idiots. They didn't know who their master was. They knew George Washington knew he got a better job, got more work being a surveyor if he joined the Masons. they knew that they got international connections and loans if they become Masons. But they didn't know that they were funneling up money to a people that's long-term plan was to completely annihilate the European race and rule the world from the heart of Europe. Later, when the Muslims got weaker, they decided they'd go back to Israel. But in a lot of the Jews in the old documents that they wrote about before World War I and World War II, they said that the Germanic people were a warrior race that had to be destroyed, and they would rule the world from the heart of Europe. And they've been working on that generationally, and they don't give up. And white people are just asleep. They're using the media to put this idea in everybody's head that white people are the devil, that the world would be better off without white people. And I'm not saying white people are angels. And hey, some things might be better if we were gone. But if we are gone, the world would miss us. I tell you, they really, we don't get enough credit for the good we do. And they would notice the good we do if we stop being a people and stop being here. And I'm just saying that you can't strengthen the weak by weakening the strong. And a lot of the weak benefit from the surplus of the strong. And there's this, we're constantly having to pay more and more taxes. Childcare is going more and more up. And we're going to be in a really bad spot one day when your net taxpayers, as demographics, that's white men, Asian men, and Jewish men. Now, there are individual black women that are net taxpayers, individual white women that are net taxpayers, but if you average them as a group, they're not. As a demographic group, no women of any race are net taxpayers. Women as a group pull more money from the government than they pay in. The only people who put more money in the government than they take out by demographics is white men, Asian men, and Jewish men. Mexicans don't. As a demographic, you see hardworking Mexicans, but they got a whole bunch of family members on welfare, living off the working family members' checks, not doing nothing. They're drained. So we're really going to be in a bad situation if you wind up with no net taxpayers and everybody on welfare. And that's what's destroying England. All these Turks and Arabs and Indians have come in leeching off the welfare state, and the white British people with about 20 IQ points higher than them can't afford to have kids because they're paying for the people who hate them to out-reproduce them and destroy them. And the Jews said they were going to do it on purpose. They said they were going to do it as a plan. They said white people are going to resent us for us being the leaders in pushing multiculturalism. And I'm going to tell you why they want to do it. They want to do it everywhere. They want to do it in Japan too. I mean, they're doing it with whites first, but they're coming after the Asians and Africans too. When they build this one world government for the Jews and save everybody, they don't want people have the same religion, same race, same they got more things to unite them. But if you got every country in the world is just a whole bunch of different factions, 5% Mexican, 5% Indian, 5% China, the people will never unite and be able to oppose the government. So they're fracturing us up. There's not a single European nation with replacement birth rates. And what they're doing, they don't just want anybody to come to the European nations. They want everybody with an IQ 20 points or lower to flood into our country. And with the exception, like if you look at the average IQ of a nation, you can tell if they're rich or poor. The only exception being communist. It don't matter what your IQ is. If you become communist, you're going to become poor. Communism is retarded. It's birthed by losers, and a bunch of losers decide they're going to team up and leech off the winners. Oh my goodness, this is not good. My billfold fell out at the shop, and I think my card come out of it. That's not good. I need to lock my card. Damn it. Damn, hopefully it's in the work truck. Shit, how am I going to buy anything? I ain't even got my $20 bill. Shit. I'm probably going to drive back to work. Damn it. No. All right, I got to get off this live stream. I got to lock my card.